Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It is a new day and I'm pretty damn excited. Now, for the reason I'm so excited, you might see I went ahead and cut the flanges off these headers last night. And my cousin Brad is actually en route over here right now with his TIG, and we're gonna build our exhaust and pop it out the fenders here. So I'm gonna go ahead while I'm waiting on him to get here. I'm gonna clean up a little bit, and I'll be back in a few minutes. I notice you have a guard on. Brad?
Yes, sir.
That's not gonna work, buddy. We don't cut lines that straight over here.
Oh yeah. Be just fine.
That's probably the straightest line that's ever been cut out of a piece of metal in this garage. And the flange it actually looks like it's cocked this way, just a hair, like it needs to, yeah, about like that. Holy shit, man, I think you got it dead nuts on.
What's your eyes? Look at it.
Looks good that way. And like this way don't matter because we can
Right, but what I'm saying is like you're in and out.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like it looks straight, or pretty damn close.
You know,
What
hey
the
man,
What the hell's going on here?
if you're arcing out on the damn fender, video of that. There's your blinker.
Yeah, it's on.
There's your blinker right there. You owned it. Right.
Right. I might have to do something with my overflow here, like plug this and drill me a hole in the side here to do an overflow. That's not a big deal.
See, I could actually, we cut that 90 in half. That way we see what we got on that.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to, I can cut this dude back, and then I could split the throat of that and bring it in and load it back up to make it under a 90, but over 25. You know what I'm saying? Like a 60 or some shit.
Well, I mean, couldn't we just cut it part way through the bend or something?
No, it'll be all done.
Oh, will it? I want to if I don't have to, but if I have to, I can cut this whole.
Yeah, but
here
that
out.
takes you a lot of support, really.
Eventually, this thing's gonna be tube chassis up here. One day, like
Right,
all this
but-
shit'll be gone.
Well, it ain't. You need that support.
Oh man, let the front end flop, man. Just let it flop.
Yeah, I don't even plan on the wheels touching the ground. What are you talking about?
We ain't even gonna steer this damn thing. It's gonna be wheels up the whole way. We're building a wheelie car. We're gonna put about 1,000 pounds of ballast in the trunk. See what you're fucking doing. That's pretty cool, man. Just draw it out on the fucking floor and.
I ain't the smartest motherfucker around, but. Thank you.
You just made a fucking jig out of my damn garage floor, man.
No shit,
Once we do the switch over to the turbos, I'm gonna just buy the whole set again, man. And I mean, we might have enough shit here, but no, we won't, because we'll need 2 of these U's. Because when we do the turbos, we'll have to completely U it back.
Right.
It'll be U'd. So I'll just buy another one of these kits then. And
Now, I don't really know that much about turbos, so explain to me. I get they suck air in,
mm-hmm.
and then it pumps it back to the. It's got to pump it back to the intake somehow.
Right.
That's unburned exhaust fuel is what it's using. I mean,
Yeah. Here
I
you
know a
go.
little bit about it, but I don't.
I'll give you a quick turbo lesson. So here's your turbocharger. All right. So
Right.
this bolts.
Sucks your old exhaust in,
No,
clean air in here.
Yeah, your exhaust goes in here, spins that guy, which spins this guy, which sucks the air in there and then pushes it out to the engine. And then your exhaust just goes on out this way. And the thing is, the more air it forces into the engine, the more exhaust pressure is going to be coming back out of the engine, so the turbo is just going to keep spinning faster and faster and faster.
Stronger and stronger.
Right, and that's why you need the wastegate to relieve pressure. That's what I was talking about. I'm not sure where we're going to put it.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have 2 wastegates, one on each side. I think if we could even go just a little bit further forward, yeah, and then when we 45 out, we might actually be able to center under that light like you were talking about originally.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Mark that shit up. Here's a moment everybody's been waiting for. We're about to cut a big ass hole.
You gonna center it up?
I don't know if I can center it.
You want me to put your mark on there?
Well, yeah, because I'd like to make it the same on both sides. I don't know if we can. Are we going to be able to 45 and come out directly under that light, you think? We're about to tear a big ass hole in the side of this Camaro. Like we just don't carry. I'm scared, man. I'm fucking scared. I'm scared. Man, it's too late now.
Be good.
That's it. I might have to break out the corded drill. It's too late to stop now.
Where's the...
I can't believe I'm doing this. Oh.
You got the Vaseline
There,
open?
there it is, guys. Big ass hole in the side of the Camaro.
It's not even paying attention. I walked right in front of there. You got the Vaseline open and this down. What you guys been doing?
I was lubing. Well, I was lubing hoses, honey.
No, I don't talk about it.
What else did you do
Okay.
with Vaseline?
I guess I'm glad I slept.
There's been some kinky shit going on out here.
Are you gonna leave it that long?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah.
The longer the better.
Yeah, that's what she said. Dude, that's it right there. If we could just hold that all together like that and tack it, we're fucking golden. Like, I can... Dude, look, here's what I can do. I can stand down here and I can center this up in this hole while you lean over the front and tack. You think we could do that?
That's great.
Will it stay there right now by itself? See, when this is all done, what I'll do... Or not.
I said it would.
Side one down, or passenger side down. We're working on the driver's side now. Guys, if you remember over here on the driver's side, the flange actually, like you can see on the passenger side, we put the flange right back here at the merge. On the driver's side, the flange had to come up about 1.5 inches or so. And that's just because of the offset of the heads and the ports on the head. So even though the turbos are different lengths, the headers are different lengths, the turbos are going to be sitting, you know, side to side. One won't be further back than the other. All right, guys, so over here on the driver's side, we've got some additional obstacles. I was hoping to be able to make it like a mirror image of the exhaust, but I kind of knew that wasn't going to happen, because over here on the driver's side we have the radiator hose that sticks out. So on the passenger side where we had come up and just, you know, 90'd right in front of the radiator. We're not going to be able to do that over here. So what Brad's doing is he's coming off and he's going to 45 off of this and then go down here into the fender and go from there. I mean, we're still going to have the resonator and everything on this side. Everything from about right here down is going to be the same. We're just going to have to come at a different angle up here, if that makes sense. I don't know how he did it, guys. But he fucking pulled it off. He managed to bend this stuff around. We got some clearance here between the upper radiator hose. I'm probably going to build a heat shield to go in here and pop rivet to this. But he managed to get it around, got the resonator in, and it's coming down and back. I'm pretty sure at about the same angle that the passenger side was. So he's just cutting it off now. We're leaving about an inch and a half sticking out of each fender. We've already loaded the other side in the truck. He's got to take all this home and finish weld it. You guys won't see this video until it's all done though. All right, so as you guys just saw, we got our exhaust back from Brad, and I have to tell you guys, he did an amazing job with this exhaust. If you want to check it out there, it comes out on this side, sticks out about an inch and a quarter, and it's aimed slightly down and back. Come around to this side, it is exactly the same. Sticks out about an inch and a quarter, down and back. I'm trying to get you guys a good angle on this, but yeah, it looks great. We're probably gonna get like some trim rings to go around these to, I don't know, for looks. I think they're supposed to protect the paint, but I'm really freaking happy with the way this turned out. This is what I was telling you guys about in another video, or I don't remember if it was in another video or on Instagram or what, but because our upper radiator hose stuck out here a little bit, we had to do this side just a little bit different than we did the passenger side. And I'm also, I mean, I can get a finger between here, but you know, that's a little too close for comfort for me. And I'm not gonna be wrapping these for a little while, I don't think. So what I'm probably gonna do is make a heat shield. I've got all of our old aluminum heat shielding that came off of underneath the car from the exhaust system. So I'll probably cut a piece and bend it to kind of fit like right in here, just to shield this upper radiator hose. But then over here on this side, I mean, we're good. We got plenty of clearance here, guys. The only thing I'm worried about is maybe my overflow here, my little overflow nipple. And what I thought about doing actually was plasti welding this one shut and maybe drilling and tapping the neck over here on this side and bringing it out. But I'm not sure what I'm going to do about an overflow yet. And I don't want to get too creative with this because it's still a possibility that we may end up moving the radiator forward a little bit in the future. Now, it did take Brad like a week to get this finished up, but while he was finishing it up, I'm kind of glad it took him that long, because I was able to tie a bunch of other stuff up and find a couple problems. As you saw in the previous video, we ran our heater hoses, we got our radiator hoses figured out, upper and lower. I believe it was the video right before this one, so you can go back and check that out if you'd like and see what hoses we used for all that. We also got all of our accessory brackets on, our low mount alternator, And I went ahead and ran our alternator wire that we had brought up from the battery to charge. We got that ran in there. I don't think you probably can't see it, but it's down there. I'm actually going to use some hose clamps on, or not hose clamps, but like insulated line clamps on the oil pan in 2 spots to kind of hold that line up so it's not flopping around. And the only thing we really have left to do alternator wise, the only thing we really have left to do is run our exciter wire and our little resistor here. It's like an 82 ohm resistor. Guys, I was going to buy one of the little plug and play kits. You know, there's various people that make them now. I know Matt Happel's one. There's a guy that sponsors Shipbox Nation. I think it's J-Wire is the name of the website. They make one too. The problem is I've got an older Holley HP harness and it does not have the plug to use that plug and play harness that those guys are using. So I'm gonna have to do my own thing here. So I ordered this off eBay. And all it is the plug for the alternator with the 1 wire you need for the exciter wire, and it comes with the resistor. So, and that's actually going to tie into a key-on, like ignition wire that I've already got. It's back there. It's wound up and taped up, but it's more than long enough to go down. I'm going to run it right alongside the alternator charge wire to the alternator, and then it'll plug into the side of the alternator there. Now, a few other things you guys saw in the previous video. We got our low car throttle cable there hooked up, but I also found a problem. And even after we got this thing fired up, after we got the cam sensor wiring straightened out and got this thing fired up, it still didn't sound like it was running great. And you guys might have noticed in that video, it actually shot a fireball out of this header. So I was like, yeah, something's obviously not right on this side. So while I had the headers off and Brad was welding up the exhaust, I went ahead and pulled all the spark plugs, and I found kind of what I thought I was going to find. You know, they were all kind of sooty from, you know, my base startup tune that I had, and all except for number 1 here. Guys, number 1 looked brand new. There has not been any fuel in this cylinder. So I looked at the spark plug on the strap. You can see the markings where the spark plug is firing. And, you know, my first thought was that this coil wasn't firing, because this coil is actually beat up pretty good. But then I saw the markings on the strap where the spark plug was firing. It was just perfectly clean and everything, because there was no fuel getting into that cylinder. So I have not checked it out yet. What I'm thinking is going on is, now these are the decap fuel injectors that we had flowed by Eric Durr, and they were running on Project Steppenwolf back in the day. So I know they're good injectors, but it's possible that there might have been something in the fuel rail, because this is an older fuel rail that I've had laying around for a few years, and I did try to flush it out, blow it out with compressed air. But this is the last injector on this fuel rail, so if there was any garbage in the rail, it may have pushed it down and into that injector basket and, you know, stopped it up. So that's what I'm going to do here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and pull the fuel rail off, pull that injector out. I'm going to see if the injector is clogged. I've actually got one of these $5 China Boy fuel injector cleaner kits that I ordered like a year ago, and I've just been waiting to try out. So we can use this to test that injector and see if it is opening and flowing fuel out of it. If it is, then the next thing I need to do is get my little Noid light set out here and check the fuel injector wiring while I'm cranking and see if the computer is actually firing that injector, you know, sending a signal to ground out that injector and fire it. If it is not, then I need to find out what the deal is there. If there's something wrong with the wiring, or, you know, something going on with the PCM, or I don't know, guys. But at this point, that's all it could be. It's either the injector or the PCM not triggering the injector. There's really no other reason for that cylinder to not be getting any fuel. After I get that straightened out, the only thing really left for me to do is to finish plumbing the nitrous system. Oh, that's something else too, guys. While he had this apart, I decided I did not like how I had the nitrous system set up. I had it all like the lines all twisted around, and I had both these solenoids mounted over here. So I've decided what I wanted to do is straighten these lines out. So I've moved both the solenoids back here, and what I'm going to do, there's a little hole here on my coil bracket. And now that I've moved the coil bracket up to get the spark plug wires off of these up and forward headers, I'm going to make a bracket to go from this bracket to this bracket and tie these two solenoids together exactly like you see them in that orientation. And then we're just going to mount them to my coil bracket here with a nut and a bolt, and they'll be good. You can see we've already got our fuel line that's going to go from here over. It's going to tap into the fuel rail on that side. And then our nitrous line will come up from behind the engine, run right into here. And then we'll have our purge valve right here. You guys might have seen on Instagram where I posted, I ordered a purge valve for this, this system already. The company I ordered it from, I'm not gonna name drop, but I think they were trying to pull a fast one. They sold it kind of cheap, but then instead of sending me the one that they were supposed to send me, they sent me one of these mainline kits, which was even cheaper than what I paid. So of course I sent it back. I'm waiting on a refund from that, and I'm going to order the 15600 kit, which is the same, you know, the same purge kit we've got on the China Vet out there. If I do not get that in before we get the rest of this ready, I don't care, guys. We'll do the redneck purge like you've seen me do before, where we just take this line loose, hit the nitrous a couple times to purge it through. I'm not going to let the purge solenoid hold me up from taking this thing to the track. But I do have to get these other issues straightened out. The injector, get my bracket made for these. I've got to go ahead. When we were welding on the car here, I'd unhooked everything under the dash and pulled the Holley computer out. I want to make sure, you know, we didn't short anything out with the Holley. So I got to hook all that back up and shove that back up in the dash. And then the last thing we've got to do is we still have to drop the fuel tank and put that 340 Amazon pump that Zane sent us. We got to put that in there. So that's it, guys. Like, once that's done, you know, we get this straightened out, make that bracket, shove our PCM back up in the dash, and get the fuel pump switched out, and we're going to be ready for the maiden voyage on this thing. Now, I had planned on going ahead, and I know you guys are going to think I'm freaking being a tease right now by not starting this thing with the new exhaust. I'm sorry about that, guys, but you're going to have to wait till the next video for that, because I don't want to build fuel pressure when I'm fixing to have to take all this stuff back apart again, and you know, I don't feel like getting sprayed with fuel. I also have to drop the tank, like I said, so I'm not going to be starting this thing with the new exhaust until the fuel injector issue straightened out and the new pump is in the tank. So you guys are going to have to wait on the next video. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to tease you, but that's just the way it is, guys. You got to think about stuff ahead of time. And, you know, if I turn the key forward and repressurize this system, then, you know, I'm going to be having to bleed off a bunch of fuel and shit like that before I can take this fuel rail out and get that injector out. So that's no fun. I would rather only have to, you know, get a little fuel dribbled on me while I'm doing it than get fuel sprayed all over me while I'm doing it. So that's pretty much it for this video, but I wanted to show you guys this system after my cousin got it finished up. I'm super happy with it, guys. Brad's my new welder for this channel, because I have never seen now I've not been around a lot of welders in my time, but Brad done an excellent job here, and he does do this for a living, so that kind of explains why. You know, but the welds look great, everything looks great. The only reason I'm not going ahead and wrapping all this is because I'm enjoying staring at it so much, because I'm not used to having stuff this shiny and nice on my cars. So I will have to wrap it eventually, but for now I'm going to kind of enjoy the way it looks and be happy with it. But guys, the next video that I put out will be this thing running, and quite possibly will be this thing going on a test drive. So I'm going to go ahead, wrap this up for now so I can get started on, you know, the few things I've got left to get started on. And thanks again for watching, guys. So if you like this video, click the thumbs up button, subscribe if you want to see more. Once again, thanks for watching. Now get out in the garage, get something done, and I'll see you next time here on Bad Luck Garage.